Oh no. Okay. I hope you all can hear me now. Thank you so much, Chris, for letting me know. I had the mic turned off, so I forgot to turn it on. I guess the first thing I should always do
Oh
is
no. Okay. I
okay.
hope you all can
Uh,
hear me now. Thank you so much, Chris, for.
all right, now I got to echo. So um I hope that you all are still hanging in there. Sorry about that. I had my mic turned off, and then of course I had my volume up, and a little bit of a snafu, technical police in the house. Okay, so great. You guys can hear me. So let me kind of start over again. And what I wanted to do is just thank everyone who comes on to the live chats with me. Hello, Rachel and Truth, and Chris for coming on right now. And all those who watch and don't say anything, I appreciate you also. I also wanted to thank those who have come over to the shop and purchased things from pleasantcreations.com. I really appreciate it as well. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. So, for those of you that are new to the channel, we are doing a project 20 where I attempt to do 20 pieces of ephemera per day so that when I do make my journals, I don't have to stop and make a little piece and put it on a page. I'll actually have things that I can use. Hey, Roberta, thanks for coming on. Yeah, I had a little snafu there with the mic. I usually have the mic off because I'm running this in the background for about 2 hours before I even come on live. And then I usually switch the mic back on, but I forgot today. Technical difficulties, police. Yeah. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be crinkling ribbon. And what kind of spurred this for me was these little pieces right here. These are bias tapes, or they're called like seam binding or bias tapes. And you can get these any place. I usually get them like at you can get them on Etsy, you can get them on eBay. I get them at estate sales and also thrift stores. That's the cheapest place to go. You can see this was like 95 cents, so this is probably a vintage tape. You can kind of tell by the prices. Sometimes they have like stains on them, they're brown, but you know what? They're just perfect for junk journals. And I've had these since the beginning of time. And I've been trying to figure out how to use them. And here's the problem. Let me move some of this stuff out the way because I have a lot of junkage going here. This is the problem that I had with these particular tapes. Okay, they come like this, as you saw. But when you open them up, they're like folded over. So I'm sure you all can see this. And I was like, how am I going to use these? And for a while I couldn't figure it out, and then I had a bit of an epiphany. And so I'm going to show you how I actually go from this to these beautiful crinkled up pieces. They actually look like sari silk, to be honest with you. They're not shiny, but you could do this with any type of ribbon also. So here's some that I did ahead of time. I'm going to have to turn my hair dryer on, so depending on how loud it is, we'll go through a complete process. And here's some more right here. So they came out just beautifully crinkled, and they make great pieces to put like on paper clips. Let me see if I have. Let me show you. Let me give you a little demo here. This is a book that I've been working on here. You can see right here, here's some pieces that I actually used today. Let me open this up. You all saw this book, but you didn't see it all decorated. So, because I've been working on this one. And so you can see right here, this is a paper clip, and it has like the crinkled little ribbon there on there. And I got another one. The yellow one. Oh, that's the yellow one. And then we had like the blue one here. So here's some more little crinkled up ribbon there that I used for the paper clip. So that was pretty cool. Okay, so let's dig in, and I'm going to show you what I did to get to this point. because you know nothing is ever quick with me. So I'm going to be using a flat iron. This is actually, these are hair items that I'm using. And so I'm going to turn this on. And I'm putting this on like the highest heat. You know, you're not going to burn these unless you like leave them on for like a gazillion years, because you know this is made so it won't burn your hair, but there might be a little smoke coming up. And I also took out my ironing pad as well, just to protect my surface, so you could put down a towel and whatnot. And I'm also going to be using this hair dryer that I have here. And I don't really use heat on my hair anymore, so these items were kind of sitting in my closet. So this is what I'm going to do first, is I'm going to cut some of this tape off, this bias tape, because it's just easier to work with and smaller lengths. So I'll probably cut maybe like about, I'd say about maybe 1.5 yards. I think that's probably about 1.5 yards. You can cut it smaller. You can try to work with it the whole thing if you wanted to, but not me. I don't want to do all that. All right, so it's probably hot enough already. So this is the actual process that I went through to do this. So first I kind of unfolded these because it has like the 2 folds over. I don't know if you all have any suggestions about this. I would love to hear it. So I just kind of open it up because it's not going to stay open, and that was the problem. That's why I never used them. So I just kind of put them like between my fingers here, but you need to be careful. Because remember that these irons do get hot. So then I'm going to stick this on here in between. Hopefully it's hot enough already. And then I'm just going to run this through. You can see I have some smoke going out. I don't know if y'all can see the smoke. And then that kind of flattens it out. Now, so you can see the difference between the flat part and where it's folded over at. So that folded over part has always been my problem. So I'm going to take my flat iron, and I'm trying to do this on cam, and I'm just going to take it, and I'm not even worried about leaving it on there that long. If you have a flat iron that you do use on your hair, you probably want to get the products off of it. Ouch, and there's some little brown spots on there, but I think that was there already. And one thing that I found, what I was really surprised about, is that some of these pieces actually were kind of Frankenstein together. They're not just one piece, they're like 2 pieces, because I thought it was supposed to be one continuous piece. So I don't know what's up with that. So then this is what you come up with. And then the next, so I'm going to do like a few of these, because we're not really finished with this piece just yet, but we're just going to go through. You'll see how, well, you saw what the end product is. So I got some pink, because I wanted to use some pink. And this one doesn't have a lip on it. So, but since it is on this little pad here, which I'm going to keep, a piece of cardboard rather, it has like some folds in it. So I'm going to get the folds out by just running them through my good old flat iron. Again, I don't use this flat iron anymore, but if I did, I would just wipe it down and still use it on my hair. So it's not harming it at all. Now, I would be careful if you're using, if you're trying to do this with a ribbon that is like nylon, because it might burn. So you might want to just turn your temperature down a little bit. All right, so that got all the little crinkles out. You know, we're taking the crinkles out to put some crinkles in. Okay, and I didn't know if I could use like this itty bitty piece of ribbon, but I'm gonna just take a piece of this one out too. Get the tape off of here. You like the pink, Brenda? I like the pink too, and I don't even have any more pink, so I'm gonna have to get some. For some reason, I don't have that much pink. Now this one I don't have to do anything to, but I need a lot of this, I think, to make this work. And this is some that I got from a thrift store also, so I got it on the cheap. All right, so I have a few more that I'm gonna do. Okay, so this one, I'm just gonna cut a nice length off, And here's one that's Frankenstein. I can see it. I'm going to show y'all. I'll cut it right here. Look at this. It's Frankenstein. See that little piece right there? That's where they Frankensteined it together. So you can see on the side. I didn't know that they could do that. All right. I think bias tape is used. You know, of course, with sewing clothes, it might be called something different. I don't know if it's still called bias tape. All the ones I have mostly have bias tape on them. And it'll tell you if it has a fold in it or not. But you can easily find this. And it's called seam binding also. But it is still used. But, you know, you can find anything when you go to a thrift store. So, almost anything. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. So I'm just holding it between my fingers because that's the best way I found to kind of just get, you know, get a start on this. So gotta get it open because it's not going to stay open. That's the problem. All right. And just put it through here. And I'm just going to go to the outside so I can have something to hold on to, which is fantastic. And then we're just going to go through, go this way. And wait a minute. Technical difficulties, police. See, y'all did a couple of these before I started, but y'all know how it goes. Whenever I'm on, things want to get all cray-cray. There we go. Ouch. Gotta watch out, too, because it's hot. All right, let's go this way. Not really a tricky process. This is like seriously a mindless task. You just got to be careful. You don't want to burn your fingers. All right, let's put that there. And have some brown that I want to use. So I'm going to do a few of these at a time so you can see how I can use these. Now you could actually use like some ink dyes and like Tattered Dreams type of things and change the color. You could use distress inks on it and all that stuff, but I just wanted them just the color that they are because I can always go back and put a little dye on it later if I wanted to. So let us... And this one, it doesn't have the folds, but you can see it's still kind of out of control. So just getting all that out of controlness off. Ooh, and they could be a little stinky too. I can smell that one. All right, I'm going to do like this whole thing. I can tell this tape is turned yellow. All right, and you see how we have like the folds in here, so I'm going to get the folds out. So usually these were used like on like hems, like of dresses and pants, and I think you still would find the seam bindings on well-tailored items. That's how you know when stuff is well tailored because it has like all these wonderful layers of fabrics and seams. All right, and I think we can do all of this. I think I might be getting a little overzealous because it takes longer for this stuff to dry if you have like the bigger the bundle is. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but of course, you know, this is the land of ideas, and in the land of ideas, I always have like tons of things that I can share with you all. That's why I started the Patreon channel, so when I'm doing things that don't make it over here, I can put it over there, and I can share some of the things that I print out that I can't share over here too, or over on Etsy. All right. That's what happens when you have kind of a long run. So this makes it pretty easy to get rid of those doggone folds. Yeah, men's pants. Ladies' pants too. They'll have on, if they're well tailored, they'll be on all kinds of pants. So this is one reason why you might want to do a shorter length. So it won't take you forever, ever. I'm just taking my time and rolling it through. And you can see just even on one pass, everything is coming out quite nicely. Quite nicely. Got this little piece on this green left. I figured I'd do a few pieces at a time. And then I wanted to do this one, which is it was called Natural. When I opened this pack, it said Natural. Okay, I'm just going to cut some of this. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Eventually, I will end up doing the whole thing because that's the only way I can work with this stuff. So, like I said, you can just use like regular ribbon that doesn't have like these folds in it. But if you do find the bias tape or the seam binding, then this is going to be your way to get rid of those folds, because you can get this on the cheap. And as you can see, it really didn't take me that long to get the folds out. So it depends on what your time is worth to you, because they say sometimes it's just worth just buying things outright that has the effect that you already want. But I had the opportunity to get all these wonderful seam bindings, so that's what I'm going to do. Hey, beautiful. I am going to be just crinkling up some ribbon here. You can look on the replay and you'll see the beginnings of this. And what I'm doing first is I'm kind of taking some vintage seam binding and getting these folds out, because you can see they're like folded over, and they've been in the package for so long that they have like a serious crease, and it just makes it difficult to work with. So I am attempting to get that fold out of these. And this is actually the last piece of ribbon that I'm gonna iron out here. Preliminarily getting this out. Ow, that's hot. You can burn your fingers on this, so be careful. Now I have a bunch of this tape. I only took out a few pieces, to be honest with you. I was like, let me, because I wanted to do like some more paper clips, but I want to put some of the, I wanted to use some of this on those paper clips. But in its present form, or it is former form, I just wasn't able to work with it, so. All right, we're almost there, folks. We're almost there. Of course, since I said this one is the last one, y'all know how that goes. You know how it goes with me at the end of a piece of the project. Okay, so, I hurt my fingers. So this is what they look like for those of you that just came on, beauty. They're like really crinkled up, and they kind of look like sari silk that you would buy. I remember I purchased some sari silk, and it was terrible. It fell apart. And then I purchased some that was okay, but I think I would rather work with like the ribbon. Okay, so now what I'm going to do next, you're going to need, actually what I want to do is I'm going to run through these one more time, because I like for them to be pretty straight, but I'm going to put a little bit of water. So I'm using my water bottle here, and I'm just spritzing it, and I'm going to run these through again, because I kind of want, because some of them still have, they still have a bit of a crease that I don't really want to see. And this is the overachiever in me, because you definitely probably don't have to go this far with these. So let me just go through these, and they don't have to be all the way dry, and you'll see why. So let's put that there, and take this one, spritzy spritzy. Hey Tanya, and do the same thing, trying to watch my fingers. And the second pass after I spritz it with water definitely kind of gets the rest of the creases down quite a bit. And you know, if you ever ironed your clothes and you just put some water on it and then you iron it, that's really a good way to get rid of creases and folds. So we're not using starch or anything like that. So this one I don't think I need to do. I'm not gonna do it. Oops, sorry. I'm not gonna do anything with this one. This one is an experiment, that little one. And this orange, I'm not going to do anything with that. All right, so let's spritz this one, this blue. And we're going to take our, can y'all see that steam? I was wondering, like, before I got started, I wonder is the steam going to mess my camera up? Because I did see that it was some steam. And of course I have to be right up under the camera so you all can see what I'm doing. All right. Okay, y'all guess what? Today I'm not using a sewing machine. Can you believe it? No sewing today. And really kind of no ephemera. I guess this can be called ephemera too because, you know, this is kind of like some prep work for our ephemera. So I don't know if I could qualify this as part of the project 20 pieces, but if I did 20 pieces of ribbon, I guess I could. Because it's part of our ephemera supplies. We need this. Ooh, this ribbon is kind of stinky, y'all, because it's old. It's old. I'm getting ready to get to the next part. I'm telling you, this is like so simple. This is probably the most time-consuming part that I'm doing right here. It's just kind of pressing these out. But I thought the flat iron was like just an excellent idea. You could use an iron to do this as well, but you know what? The flat iron is better, in my opinion. Because it would just take me forever to do this with an iron. I don't know about y'all. I'm not an ironing kind of girl. As a matter of fact, I don't even iron my clothes. If I need something that's kind of pressed, I will either put it back in the dryer, which is not that often because when I wash my clothes, I try to hang them up so I don't have to press them. Or I'll use a steamer. Okay, so now we have all of these, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to let this cool down on here just a little bit so I won't burn anything up. And then the next thing I'm going to do, oh, actually, I'm still going to need this. Move this out the way. Ugh. Hey, Judy. Okay. So I'm using this towel because I just don't want water all over the place, but that's the only thing, that's the only purpose it's serving. So now you're going to need some rubber bands, and I have this big old bag of rubber bands that I've had since the beginning of time. And yeah, using the iron would be more like work. I have the iron next to me because I use it for some other things, but no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so now, again, I'm going to wet this again, and it doesn't have to be super wet. And then I'm just going to kind of just randomly ball this up. And I guess it depends on how thick. Let me give it a little bit more water. It already started wrinkling a little bit. And you just have to kind of experiment and fill out your ribbon and see how well it accepts. It needs to soak in a little bit. And I just ball it up randomly. And then And like I said, if you use like kind of a shiny kind of fabric binding, it's probably gonna look like sari silk. Okay, now I'm just taking the rubber band and I'm just randomly kind of putting the rubber band on here. And I'll probably use two for this one, just to keep it balled up. That's the trick, is to keep this bad boy balled up. So again, this is something that you could do watching TV. How do I know? Because I did it. So you can see this is our little ball with a rubber band on it, and we'll just put that to the side. Now, what you could do this one day and then you could just let it sit. I have not done that because I wanted mine to be done kind of quickly. So I'm going to show you the semi-quick method here of how I do this. And I'm making sure I bunch this up really good. Bunch, 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 a bunch, bunch, bunch. So what are you all working on today while we're doing this? Because, it's going to take me a few minutes to do all my little bunching and wetting of our lovely silk here. I actually started doing some more paper clips today while I was sitting and I was waiting and I was watching Susan Taylor Brown. She was on a live stream because I love watching live streams. And while I was watching her, I had already did some of these samples so that you all can see what it looks like once it's finished. And I wasn't really paying attention to the time, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my goodness, I got like 2 minutes left to get my desk cleared off and set up. Uh-oh. Hold on, my rubber band didn't go well. Oh, you're still on vacay? That's awesome. It's that time of the year, vacation time. All right. See, I put a lot of material in this green piece, so that's why I'm kind of having a tough time. So depending on how nimble your fingers are, you might want to use like smaller pieces of material. Okay, I'm going to use 2 rubber bands on this one too, because I want the balls to be kind of tight. So that's why we're doing this. Ugh. What I thought about doing too, since I'm always saying these are not a tutorial, is to actually do some short tutorials of some of the things that I've done already. Because, I could be a little long-winded. But I think this is like the real, for real, because, you see the short tutorials and everything looks like it only takes like 5 minutes to do, when in reality, it takes a lot longer to do a lot of these projects. Oh, that's awesome. You think she's going to like it? Because I thought my family was going to like junk journals, and they didn't. Like, even my, some of my cousins, I was like, I think they'll like these junk journals. They didn't. They're crafty people. One of my cousins. But you know what? It's okay. I don't judge them. Junk journaling life is not for everybody. All right, let me put another rubber band on. And the rubber bands don't really hinder anything, so you can put as many rubber bands as your material can take. Y'all, I love Hulu. I was watching some old episodes of Home Improvement with Tim Taylor. If you're in the U.S., you know who that is. He was a comedian. And I guess his shows were back in the 80s. Oh my goodness, I forgot how funny that show was. I was like, oh, I have something to binge on, because kind of between shows. Oh, The Handmaid's Tale is back on. I have to like psych myself up to watch that one. Anybody else watch The Handmaid's Tale? Oh my gosh. I have to psych myself up for that because when I first saw it, I was like, you know what? Something like that could happen. I don't want to like give no spoilers away if y'all have never watched it and you're thinking about it, but that season is up on Hulu and I might watch some this weekend. So I kind of been avoiding it, but I do want to watch it. Anybody else do that? Like you just avoid stuff, but you know you want to watch it? I did that for a few days with Can They See Us on Netflix too. Like I didn't want to watch it, but I did, but I didn't want to watch it because I knew it was like it's a true story. So I knew what happened and it made me really sad. But I watched it. Okay, so that's one. Oh, The Handmaid's Tale. Somebody else told me to read the book as well. And you know what? I need to. I think I would try to get the audiobook at one time, but it had like a serious backlog on even the audiobooks since, you know, the show made it so popular. Have you read the book, Judy? That's a scary tale. That's something like every woman should watch The Handmaid's Tale. Because that could happen, especially here in the U.S. with I don't want to get political or anything, but I could just see that happening. Some crazy times these days. All right, let's see. So this is the small pink one. I wish I had some more pink. This is the only piece of pink I had. Ugh. I was kind of disappointed about that. All right. That's balled up good enough, I think. I don't think it's going to come apart. Got a few more pieces to ball up. And you got to wet it. Okay, I think you meant yes. So I'm going to take that as a yes. You know, authors are special kind of people for sure. Man, they have their imaginations and what they, you know, authors and directors and things, the things that they can do for somewhat entertainment purposes or, you know, things that make you think. It's amazing. People are amazing. Judy, were you surprised, since you read the book a long time ago, were you surprised when you, or excited when you saw that they made a series out of the book? Check out Dead to Me. Oh, I watched that too. I already binged that one out. It's done, so now I have to wait until the next season. That's the only thing with Netflix. The good thing is you get all the episodes and you can watch them at your own pace. And the bad thing is you have all the episodes and you can watch them at your own pace and then you don't have nothing left to watch. Oh, I came on when you started watching. Well, you can't go back to it until after we get finished. Let's just put it that way. You cannot. All right. Yeah, Dead to Me was kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Netflix is like, they are rolling out some good stuff. They're just getting better and better. You guys know what? I have been with Netflix since they started. And of course, I was from the era where I used to get like the videotapes from like Blockbusters and stuff. And then when Netflix came along and put Blockbuster out of business, I've been with them that long. I've had my same account for as long as Netflix has been on. That's amazing, huh? All right, we got this one. Now, this one is kind of a little bit of an experiment because it's really kind of thin. Oh my goodness. I did binge Can They See Us? And I'm kind of glad that I did because it was like, I mean, I'm telling y'all, that is the hardest thing I ever watched in my whole life. Well, no, it's not. But it's probably the first thing that I ever watched that was hard to watch. The second thing was 12 Years a Slave. Oh my goodness, it was horrible. And can you see us? That was another one. Like, because I'm telling you, like 5 minutes in, I was crying because I already knew what happened, because it's real life, and it's just a terrible turn of events. I cried through that whole thing, all the episodes. And when I woke up the next morning, my eyes were just like puffy, like somebody died. But I just felt like for me it was necessary to watch. I think I was in Germany when that whole thing went down. So I'm not telling any of the story. Okay, finally. All right, y'all. We got all of those done. Okay, let me move this out the way. And we can move this out the way. All right, so now, oh, y'all know what? All I can do is talk to y'all at this point. Let's see. Um, this is what. Okay, so we have our little balls here. Now, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna dry these fast because I didn't want to wait for these. I'm gonna come back to the chat in a minute. But okay, so I said, okay, let me put them in the dryer, because I have like this thing that you can put in the dryer, and I could have just sat these on the dryer, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to use that much energy to try to dry these, and I don't know how long it's gonna take. And then I said to myself, how about we use the heat gun? But that heat gun is really hot and it will burn your fabric. So I said, nope, that's not a good idea. So I said, hold up, let me get my hair dryer, because even though the hair dryer is warm, you can adjust the air on it. And also, and then so as I was leaving my bedroom with the dryer, so this is the hair dryer. So I was leaving the bedroom with my dryer, and I said, man, how am I going to like put this on here, on these like this? That's not going to work. So I have what's called a diffuser. So I actually put a link to this hair dryer in the description below, but the diffuser comes with this. And so if you don't have a diffuser, then it's just going to take you a little bit longer to dry these. And the diffuser has like these little these things that stick out, because when you stick it in your hair, the air comes out of like the tips of these. And so every now and then I use this, and then of course it has like the holes in here. So I thought this would be good, and this is actually perfect for this job, because what I'm gonna do, let me see if I can get y'all at an angle where you can see what I'm doing here without a big shadow. I'm just gonna put these over, and it kind of sits on top. Let's see. I'm trying to get y'all in. See? It doesn't want to stay. And then so I just set it over like this. So I hope y'all can kind of get the gist here of what we're doing. Hold on, let me get the camera back the way it was supposed to be. Okay, there we go. So, and I can get all of these pieces up under here. So I got this plugged in, and I'm just going to put this over to the side kind of, and hopefully this won't be too loud, so y'all have to let me know, because I'm going to let this run. I have it on hot, and I put it on high, and hopefully you can still hear me talking. Now, at this point, I'm going to let this run for about 10 minutes. So as you can see, I don't have nothing else to do. I didn't take out nothing else to do. I didn't really think this through while I'm letting this dry. And then when we unravel everything, we're gonna have like these nice little pieces. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm waiting for that, y'all hold on. And also, if you could let me know in the chat if the hair dryer is too loud for y'all. Hold on. Okay. So what I want to do, let me do a time check. Let's see where we're at. Okay, we should be good. Okay. Let me know if that's going to be too loud. And while that's going, what I think I'm going to do is just work on this book because, you know, y'all came here to see some stuff. I don't want to just be sitting here chit-chatting. So this is the journal that we kind of put together, and I haven't really worked on it since. So I'm going to dress it up a little bit more while we're on the camera. I'm not going to be doing any sewing or anything. So if anything needs sewing, I'll just let it sit inside the book. Oh, truth. You need a support group, girl. I'll be your support group. Because that was, oh man, that was something else. Okay, let's just look through here and see what we have in here so far. You guys are getting like a little bit of the preliminariness of this. And when I started putting this together, I just felt like I didn't have enough ephemera. So I decided to stop and make more ephemera. Where we're at. So of course there's lots of things I can still put in here because I like to kind of really dress this up and put lots of stuff on all the pages. I'm just trying to get an idea of kind of what I have in here already. Now let me know if the hair dryer is too loud. We got it's been on for like 3 minutes. So in about 7 minutes, it might get dry faster than that, but I left it on for 10 minutes and hopefully I don't burn my hair dryer out by doing this, but you know, I don't use it anyway. So it doesn't make a difference. Okay. So what I'm doing kind of off camera is I am looking for some things I would like to add into here. Okay, I want to put some of these clusters in that I have, but I don't think I have. I still need to make those clusters and they go really, really quickly. So I just need to continually be making clusters. We're just kind of passing the time together, y'all, because it just takes a little bit of time. Okay. Let's see if I can find some small clusters, which I don't think I have in here. Well, I should have had a bunch. I think I used them all. I got all large clusters now. Okay, yeah. Uh-oh. They're trying to get away. Y'all not getting away. I kind of have it propped up. So as you can see, it fell. Alright, so I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here as a tuck spot. Okay, good, not too loud. And I'm trying to force myself not to yell. I put the dryer over here on this side, and on this side is my mic, so I shouldn't have to raise my voice. All right. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it on just a few more minutes because I want them to be nice and dry. I didn't do this the way I wanted to do it. Hold up. I'm going to take that glue off because this is supposed to be a tuck spot, and I didn't do it in a tuck spot kind of way, so I'm trying to save it. Make sure the glue's off. Alright, got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Sometimes I get caught up in the process, especially when I'm gluing things down. Alright. I still have to go back and get some of these threads out of here. While we're waiting to see what our final ribbons look like. See, if I was paying attention to what I was doing when I was actually putting these together, I wouldn't have all this crazy stringage up here. But sometimes when I'm talking to you guys, it's not that it's a distraction. I think it's kind of a nerve thing. I just want to try to get things done a little too fast. Alright. Trying to make it look a little prettier. There we go. Instead of just like a clump of ribbon. Okay, this actually matches this page quite nicely. Let's see where we're at on time. I'm probably going to leave it about 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to take that off. And this. I kind of like this on this page. So I'm going to put this here. Make sure I'm cognizant of where I'm putting the glue at this time. I do need to get back to decorating these journals because I have a few that are finished and they just need their innards. So we got to get back to doing the innards together. I've been kind of saving this journal so we can do it together. Alright, I'm going to give the dryer about 1 more minute. Get some glue on this side. Alright, and I'm going to have to make some more of these guys. Because some smaller clusters, that is. So I'm going to make this into a tuck spot here. Oh, you gotta go? Alright. Thanks for coming on, Judy. I'm gonna miss you. Actually, I think I should be able to... Let me move this out the way. I think we should be able to unravel. Ooh, that was loud. Alright. Let's see how we feel. Because I did these for like 10 minutes and they did pretty good at 10. So let's unravel one and see. And the rubber bands will usually break, but that's okay because I have like a gazillion of them, as you saw. How many is in that bag? It was 850 ribbons in that bag. I mean, rubber bands. So I think I could lose a few. Alright, so see, that's kind of what it looks like. And then, ta-ta! It's all nice and crinkly. And I guess the longer that you it's dry too. The longer you leave it, the better crinkling you get. So I don't even try to uncrinkle it too much. I just leave it kind of crinkled. All right. And our rubber band broke, but that's okay. We got another broken rubber band. Actually, it makes it easier to take off. One of the rubber bands broke. And then here's another one. So this was real time. So y'all saw in real time how easy this is. Doesn't that look like sari silk? Almost. Except for it doesn't have the silky sheen. But if you did have a ribbon that has the silky sheen, then you could definitely, it would definitely really look like sari silk. And this is a little bit stiffer, but that's okay. Ooh, I like this one. This was just a regular ribbon. It wasn't the seam bias tape rather. So I like that. It bounces back quite nicely. Got another broken one. And a yellow. So you can see. And it's dry. So this is like the quick way to make it. It didn't seem quick, but it's the quick way to make it. And so if you make up a batch of these, like I just made a batch today, and I may make some more. Well, I know I'm going to end up making more. So this was a big ball. And I feel like it's still a little damp, but you can kind of see. This one I'm going to reball up because it's so big. That's why it's good to kind of work in small sections on these. Because the denser your ball, the longer it takes to dry. But if you got time, it doesn't matter. I have time, but I wanted to do it kind of quick for you guys. All right, this one should be dry. It's a nice small ball of seam binding. Ooh, look at that one. It just went crazy. I like it. It's still a little wet too. So I'm going to ball that one back up as well. And kind of put this back on so it can air dry and whatnot. In a balled up state, sorta. Here's a brown one. This one did very well as well. You can tell when it did real good when it kind of bounces back. You pull it. And definitely want to do some more brown. Okay, this was my experiment, the little skinny ribbon. I didn't really know what was going to come out of this, but let's see. So this is the skinny one. And it did crinkle up. So that was a good experiment because this was like really bone straight. I like it. And it got kind of crinkly. Now, I did see one lady, and she did this process. She didn't use the hairdryer like I did, but what she did was she did bind it with the rubber band, and then she put it into a Ziploc bag. Let me see if I have one on my desk. I have it earlier. So she put it in the Ziploc bag, and I can't remember the name of the YouTuber, but she put it in the bag, and she put it like into the corner of the bag. And then she took it and then she squished it. And she said she left it for like 2 days like that. And then when it came out like this. So maybe even more crinklier than what I have here. So that's something you could do as well. So you don't need like a hairdryer to do it. But I just wanted to kind of do this kind of fast and on the quick. So... yeah, so this is all that I did today. So actually, let's see how many pieces we got. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12, okay, 13, 14. And I did do some paper clips today, so... So that was my 20 for today. So what do you all think about this process? Is it something you think that you're inspired and you will be able to repeat? And then now, technically, I can cut these into pieces. So I'm going to call my project 20 for today. Check. I'm going to say that I got it done for today. So I am going to shove off, and I really appreciate everyone coming on with me and just kind of hanging out while we got these dry, because I didn't really have anything in between thing planned for us to do while it was drying. And so with that, I am going to shove off. And if you haven't done so already, please give the video a thumbs up before you leave. I really appreciate it. You can leave a comment on the video as well. And great, Tanya, because this is like a really easy project. If you have like any type of ribbon, this will work for any type of ribbon almost. Just be careful with that nylon if you're using a heat on it, because it will melt. So you don't want to use like a ribbon that has like a melty type of fabric in it. All right, so I'm not going to call out names today. Everybody that didn't say anything, thank you for coming on. Those that did, thank you for coming on. Those that have come over to pleasantcreations.com, thank you for coming over. So with that, I'm going to say love, peace, and hair grease. From your sweet lotus blossom and lovable Lizzie, have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.